Welcome to Smart Okasan TV, your #1 top channel for the latest updates on Biafra news, things going on in Biafra land, and the hottest trends in entertainment. As you are about to watch this video, try to like, subscribe, comment and share for orders to see.
Ngozi Orabueze, Biafra Deputy Prime Minister, gives updates on latest development. As Biafra Prime Minister Simon Ekpa present Nigerian government atrocities to the world. Simon Ekpa has documented and presented human rights abuses by the Nigerian state to international bodies such as Amnesty International, the United Nations, and the European Union. Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa are detained for advocating for Biafran self-determination, with Simon Ekpa held in Finland since November 2024 under alleged pressure from Nigeria. The Nigerian government is accused of secret wars against Biafrans, including killings, property destruction, and unlawful arrests without trial. While the government rehabilitates and reintegrates Boko Haram fighters, it labels Biafran activists as terrorists and finances their persecution. Nigeria is accused of looting Biafra's natural resources, particularly crude oil, while neglecting basic infrastructure such as clean water, transportation, and healthcare in Biafran territories. A self-referendum was held on November 29, 2024, where 50 million Biafrans allegedly voted to exit Nigeria, declaring the United States of Biafra as a sovereign nation. Biafran leaders have sent formal notifications to various embassies and international organizations demanding recognition and the withdrawal of Nigerian military forces. The proposed Biafran government will operate as a confederacy, giving autonomy to its 40 states, while maintaining a centralized defense and leadership structure. A Biafran headquarters in Washington, D.C. will open on May 30, 2025, alongside a peace summit and a remembrance event for Biafran heroes. Biafrans are urged to remain steadfast against government-backed infiltrators attempting to disrupt their independence movement. I have read a detailed news report that describes a highly charged situation involving the struggle for self-determination in the region known as Biafra. In this report, Ngozi Orabueze, who serves as the Deputy Prime Minister of Biafra, provides an update on the latest developments. She explains that Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of Biafra, has been actively presenting the human rights abuses and atrocities allegedly committed by the Nigerian government to international organizations and global audiences. As I read through the report, I felt a mix of concern and curiosity about the events that have unfolded over the past months. According to the report, Simon Ekpa has taken on a vital role in documenting and publicizing what he claims to be extensive human rights violations committed by the Nigerian state. These abuses have been reported to major international bodies, including Amnesty International, the United Nations, and the European Union. The report goes into considerable detail about the nature of these alleged violations, describing secret operations carried out by the Nigerian government that have resulted in unlawful killings, property destruction, and mass arrests without any form of judicial process. In a personal reflection, I could not help but think about the suffering of ordinary people who have been caught in the crossfire of what is described as a secret war waged by a state that is meant to protect its citizens. One of the most striking aspects of the report is the mention of the detainment of key Biafran leaders. Both Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa have been detained for their roles in advocating for Biafran self-determination. The report states that Simon Ekpa has been held in Finland since November 2024, which is presented as being the result of external pressure from the Nigerian government. The fact that a leader who is actively bringing international attention to these issues is being detained in a foreign country adds another layer of complexity to the story. It makes the reader wonder about the international dimensions of the conflict and the ways in which political pressures extend beyond national borders. The Nigerian government is accused in the report of conducting secret wars against the Biafran people. These accusations are serious and include claims that the government is not only using its military power to enforce its will, but is also systematically targeting Biafran activists by labeling them as terrorists. In what appears to be a stark contrast, the Nigerian authorities are reported to have programs in place that rehabilitate and reintegrate former Boko Haram fighters into their military, police and security forces. This stark difference in treatment between those they deem to be criminals and the activists fighting for self-determination creates a deeply polarizing narrative that raises questions about the fairness and transparency of the Nigerian government's actions. The report also details the economic dimensions of the conflict, particularly focusing on the alleged exploitation of Biafra's natural resources. It is claimed that the Nigerian government has been systematically looting the region's crude oil reserves, while simultaneously neglecting the provision of essential services to the people of Biafra. Basic infrastructure, such as clean water, reliable transportation, and adequate health care, is said to be in short supply in Biafran territories. The stark image of a region rich in natural resources but deprived of the most basic human necessities adds to the sense of injustice that pervades the report. It also prompts the reader to reflect on the broader issues of resource control and economic exploitation that often underlie ethnic and regional conflicts. Another significant part of the news report is the mention of a self-referendum that took place on November 29, 2024. According to the report, an overwhelming number of approximately 50 million Biafrans participated in a vote to exit Nigeria, leading to the declaration of the United States of Biafra as a sovereign nation. This referendum is portrayed as a pivotal moment in the movement for independence, symbolizing the collective desire of the Biafran people to establish their own identity and governance separate from Nigeria. The report explains that Biafran leaders have sent formal notifications to various embassies and international organizations, urging them to recognize the new entity and to demand that Nigerian military forces withdraw from Biafran territories. The proposed government of the United States of Biafra is envisioned as a confederate state, where autonomy is granted to each of its 40 states, while a centralized defense and leadership structure is maintained. This vision, as laid out in the report, suggests an attempt to combine regional independence with national cohesion, ensuring that while each state can manage its internal affairs, there is still a unified approach to defense and overall governance. There is even mention of an official Biafran headquarters that is set to open in Washington, District of Columbia on May 30, 2025. This headquarters is expected to serve multiple purposes, including being the site for a peace summit and a remembrance event dedicated to Biafran heroes. The idea of having a headquarters in a major international capital underscores the ambition of the Biafran leadership to secure global recognition and support for their cause. Throughout the report, there is an emotional undercurrent that resonates with anyone who values freedom and self-determination. The language used by both Ngozi Orabueze and Simon Ekpa reflects a deep commitment to the cause of Biafran independence.
And is still being held today by the Nigeria state, because he was fighting for the freedom of Biafrans. Because he wanted us to live in a nation, in a country where we are not being judged by your tribe, by your religion. You don't get position by your religion, by your tribe, or who you know. He's held today because he wants us to exist in a nation where you do not have reintegrated terrorists being hired into the military and police and security forces, and they are being sent out with AK-47 to kill those who do not align with the belief of the government in power. That is what our leader Nnamdi Kanu was fighting for. And that is why he is being held today by President Tinubu of Nigeria. We remember our leader today. We thank you, our leader Nnamdi Kanu, for what you do. We thank you for your resilience. Because of what you do and where you are today, we are doing what we are going to be doing today and what we will continue to do every single day until that dream is finally realized. That Biafra is a free, sovereign nation that aspires to be one of the best countries in Africa and in the world. Be strong. Do not be moved. Do not let them break you. Do not let them shake you. They may break you physically. They may stab you. They may torture you. But be rest assured that what is going to happen this year will make you happy. I also want to use this opportunity to remember our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa, who is being held today by the Finland government. Our Prime Minister has done nothing except the same thing our leader Nnamdi Kanu is doing. Our Prime Minister has presented to the world the heinous crime, the maltreatment, the human rights abuses of the Nigerian state, documented not just by Biafrans, but also by international peace and human rights organizations like the Amnesty International, the OEAS, the United Nations. This has been presented by our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, not only to the Finland authorities, but also to the ICC, to the European Union, and to most world leaders. Our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, has done nothing wrong. Because today, Biafra and Nigeria is at a secret war. Nigeria state is currently waging a secret war with United States of Biafra. They invade our territory with armored tanks. They kill our people. They burn down our businesses. They demolish our homes. They make our young men and women disappear. They held our young men, women in several prisons across Nigeria with no access to the legal authorities, to the lawyers that they need to be free. Nigerian state arrests innocent Biafrans, tie their eyes, push them from the police station, forcefully make them sign documents without presenting them in the law court. Move them over to the jail and of the prisons. We have instances of an innocent Biafran from Ikembe State that was arrested by the Nigerian police, handed over to the Nigerian DSS. His eye tied, covered, and they made him sign a document without taking him to the court. The next thing, from the Nigerian police station, they docked him to the armor of their cell where he is languishing today. This is just one instance We have thousands of Biafrans scattered all over Nigeria in different jails across the country that have committed no crime except fighting for the freedom, for their self-determination in a country where the state rehabilitates, reintegrates non-terrorists like Boko Haram, like Iswa, into the military and the police and give them AK-47. Ship them down to the southeast and south part of Nigeria to arrest, detain, throw to jail our young men and women without trial. That is what is going on today in that enclave called Nigeria and in the United States of Biafra. Our Prime Minister is still being interrogated by Finland since November 2024. It is 4 months now that Finland, in collusion with Nigeria, continue to detain, continue to interrogate our Prime Minister, the leader of the United States of Biafra, Simon Ekpa, for no cause. The Nigerian state has committed more atrocities, have committed more war crimes, have committed more terrorism, more laundering of funds in different aspects of the world. Nigerian leaders, they destroy the indigenous, they destroy the citizens. Through bribery and corruption, they launder thousands of dollars that belong to the indigenous citizens in several banks across the world. The Nigerian state, headed by President Tinubu, has not deemed it fit to accuse these politicians of being financing anything, being money launderers.
What a wonderful question, the answer of this platform. First and foremost, I want to say, Simon Ekpa has come out to say, or has outlined countless times that he said that the Nigerian government cannot win Biafra with a barrel of gun for the second time. Now when he said that, see, Nigerian government cannot win Biafra with a barrel of gun, it means that nobody needs to die for them to exit Nigeria. Now, Ojogun fought Biafra in a different dimension. Now, Kanu did it via his own dimension. So Ekpa is taking it globally. And now we've seen world body recognize Biafra. We've seen the UN and then some other global body have come out to endorse the Biafra struggle. So kudos to him, it is a plus. Some persons have come out to say that Simon Ekpa should be discredited, the likes of SEO-optimized and that of the southeastern governors. But my question is that you said Simon Ekpa should not be taken serious. Then who should be taken serious? The government who is not willing to protect our people? Is it the people who have refused to speak up when the Igbo man has been marginalized in the country? Is it the same governors who have become a tools in the hands of their Fulani master? So for you to even have a character like Simon Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu to have come out to say enough is enough, that we are tired of this contraption called one Nigerians. It shows that these people have this mindset that, see, they can no longer be the slave. So for him to have even gone as far as to hire lobbyists that will speak on behalf of Biafra in the world, in the UN summit, To me, it's a plus, and that alone, the voice of Biafrans will be heard globally, and the voice of an Igbo man is also being heard globally. Now, let me take it back the line. When Southern Sudan and South Sudan wanted parted ways, nobody killed each other. Nobody go through the route of violence. It was done amicably. So Simon Ekpa is doing it amicably for him to convince world leaders that this thing is possible, and why the government of the day, the present government of Nigeria, are not seeing it that way. Thank you. You can also to the government, to the Nigerian government, be worried about it. Why would they be worried? The same people have sent assassins to kill Simon Ekpa. Now only he has escaped. So see, one thing about it is that the government of the day, they are panicking. There's panic. You know what it is now? So a particular tribe, a major tribe, to exit your country. You know how an Igbo man is. You know the investment of an Igbo man is in the country. Now imagine in Nigeria without an Igbo man. Let's just imagine that. I mean, dominance. That means the outside man would now dominate virtually every government perspective in Nigeria. So now the reason why the other man is still believe the.
Thanks for tuning in to Smart Okason TV show. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share to keep the intellect flowing.